Maggie, what's going on?
Hanging, JK. Got the day off. I like those days.
You never have days off. It's crazy.
No, when you're a mom, you don't. So, I gave the little one a phone and she's in her room. So,
Well, thanks for joining us to talk a little bit about resilience. The first question I want to ask you is what's the difference between the September 1st resilience that we saw that raced against Locke at Saratoga and the one we saw on April 16th that won? Did I say April 1st? I meant September 1st. April 6th that won in the Wood Memorial. What do you think?
the number one thing and the most, noticeable thing that I saw from him was the mental side of things. He was fairly green in that debut, and Mott and his team kind of knew that. They always show their hand a little bit when like horses come in with that training saddle, and if they have a lot of things in their ears and stuff like that. And he did, and he was green, and he was screaming and hollering, and just wasn't as professional first time out as you like to see. And then I saw a completely different animal, going back to April here in the Wood Memorial, and he was focused. It seemed as though the blinkers, not only in the race, helped him focus and kind of settle in. They did so prior to. And furthermore, he's not your typical Into Mischief. He's more your kind of atypical Into Mischief in that he's incredibly athletic, like he tends to throw, but most of them are built kind of like, I like to say, sports cars, where I feel like their best performances often lie in the distances of a mile, just kind of either shade of that. He, on the other hand, is a classically built thoroughbred. He's athletic, but he's very well balanced and bigger. He kind of has that Lincoln Town car type of body rather than the Ferrari, if you will. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's the kind of physical you want for these classic distances.
These mini pods are brought to you by Free Reign Coffee Company. They've been powering the In the Money team throughout the Triple Crown prep season, and the coffee is fantastic. Whether you're looking for whole beans, grounds, or pods, Free Reign give you what you need to get up and get after it. And they've got subscriptions available too, so you never run out. Use our promo code MONEY20 for a 20% discount site-wide over at freereigncoffee.com. $4 million. That's how much original ITM Plus subscribers and contributors have won at the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge over the last 5 years. ITM Plus is the place for our best Kentucky Derby information, including grid picks from the team, trip notes, and specific betting advice. Sign up today at inthemoneypodcast.com/plus.
So, Mags, what did you think about the way this horse ran in the Wood Memorial?
I think the blinkers ultimately did the trick, as I kind of alluded to, in that he was prominent throughout, which I think just in racing in general is the best kind of style to have. You're not going to be targeted as an out-and-out speed horse where you might get pressed along to go fast, especially in a race like the Derby, but you're handy enough. You get out of the gate well, you get that position going forward, and you're not left with traffic woes with horses and all kinds of obstacles getting in your way. And that's exactly what we saw in the Wood Memorial. And furthermore, John Velasquez and Bill Mott stating that he was a horse that got to his competition and wanted to hang on them. And it feels like with those blinkers on, he really sealed the deal. He ran straight, true, and forward through the wire. And that's really the result that you want. And furthermore, he keeps elevating his performances and running faster with each subsequent race. They're not huge leaps, they're incremental, but that's how you develop a good horse, in my opinion.
Well, put your feet to the fire a little bit here, a couple of weeks out. What do you think of Resilience's chances in the Kentucky Derby?
Maybe the time isn't right for the Derby, right? Maybe he's just not quite as good as some of those horses, like the Fierceness, like the Sierra Leones of this world, yet. Do I think he has a shot, and definitely a shot to hit the board? Absolutely. I don't like him as a win candidate, but I am going to use him. That is
well, Maggie, there's no way we're going to let you go on vacation without telling us who you actually do like. You got to see a lot of these horses in the flesh. It's one of the good things about being in Saratoga in your position, seeing all the 2-year-olds. Who do you think is going to win the Kentucky Derby?
Sierra Leone. And I went on a rant about, I don't know about horses closing and too many things to get in their way, but I think, They paid 2.3 million for him. And this is what I do. As you mentioned, I look at horses physically. You put him and fierceness in front of me, and 101 times I'm going to pick, and 101 times out of 100, I'm picking Sierra Leone, hands down.
All right. Well, there it is. Maggie Wolfendale, we appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.